Many thanks again for keeping a date with us on your ultimate news and current affairs program on television. This morning on ITV, you call it TMI. Such a delight to bring you a conversation on the show today. Of course, it's in continuation of our discussions on COVID-19, which really didn't have time to elucidate on last week, Monday. Now, we did promise that we'll crave the indulgences of our erudite professors to be here again so they can give us their perspectives on the COVID-19 pandemic. And good to the promises, they're here to do just that. Today's program is going to be a bit more elaborate than we had last week, which means that you will have the opportunity to also contribute either via WhatsApp or through our studio line, either to ask questions or to contribute to the conversation. But essentially, be as brief as possible and avoid casting aspersion on anyone. You have your own perspective, say it the way it is, and back it up with your findings, with your facts, with your figures, as the case may be. There's really no point casting aspersion on anyone. That has been a major issue in the COVID-19 fight in recent times. But let's just avail you with some of the statistics that are available. If you have access to the World Health Organization WhatsApp number, they send you a short code in numbers 1, 2, 3, and if you forward that number to the WhatsApp number, it gives you any information, every information that you need to have as far as the pandemic is concerned globally. And so as of today, globally, we have confirmed cases of 1,696,588 and with 105,952 deaths. We can go on region by region to be able to give you all of those figures. But one thing is clear, from European region to through the region of Americans, region of the Americas, Western Pacific region, Eastern Mediterranean region, Southeast Asian region, down to the African region, the lowest number of cases still resides in Africa. For example, in European region, you have 880,106 confirmed cases with over 74 deaths. Region of the Americas, 573,944 confirmed cases with over 21 deaths. Western Pacific region, 120,116 with 4,058 deaths. Eastern Mediterranean region, you have 95,945 confirmed cases with 4,943 deaths. Southeast Asia, 16,041 and 728 deaths. African region, 9,728 cases with 444 deaths. We actually would add to each of these numbers over because the numbers just keep rising. That seems to be the crux of the matter. And for the WHO, they've tagged it global level very high. It may interest you to know that there is an organization called change.org calling for the resignation of the World Health Organization Director General, saying he compromised, or accusing him of alleged compromise with the Chinese people for underreporting the COVID-19 cases at the earliest stage, which of course made it particularly difficult for governments and people of the world to take the pandemic serious and perhaps marshal out action plans on how they can continue. But at the moment, the virus is spreading, it's taking its toll on the global population. Some say there is more to meet the eye as far as this pandemic is concerned. And one of those who feel this way, we have two of them in the studio. They were here last week and they're here again to give us perspectives on the issues. Let me thank very especially Professor Cyril Otoikian. He's a professor of genetics and animal science. He's the president and founder, EO Foundation, a lecturer and researcher at the Novena University, Ugume in Nigeria. Prof, many thanks for joining us again on the program.
Thank you very much.
We also have with us in the studio Professor Josiah Ajene, a professor of neuroanatomy. He's also a researcher with the EO Foundation, a lecturer and researcher with Novena University, Ugume. Professor Ajene, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
We're hoping to have the chairman NMA or anyone who's so appointed to join us via telephone in the course of the conversation. And you also have the opportunity to be part of the conversation using our studio lines to call in and be part of the discussion this beautiful Monday morning. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for coming on the show. Now, let me start with Professor Cyril. The numbers keep adding by the day. Thank God, yesterday, Easter Sunday, in Abuja at 8 p.m., no new case was reported. But we know that globally, this number keeps rising. What, in your opinion, are those things that you think are hidden as far as this pandemic is concerned, that those whom you have referred to in charge of all of these things don't want people to see, don't want people to hear, or what we are seeing is what it is as far as COVID-19 pandemic is concerned?
Thank you very much. Like I said last Monday, when we were here, I did classify COVID-19 as fraud and scam. And I told the world that those who are saddled with the responsibility to take care of people's human health are not telling us the truth about COVID-19. But however, I want to assure the world today that very soon, COVID-19 will come to pass. The numbers are increasing and will continue to increase. Remember I told you, two things that I clarify here is that COVID-19 is not a virus. Virus in the sense that when you look at it as a living thing, but that is a chemical warfare, a biochemical warfare. That is, somebody produced something poisonous in the lab, and that is what is affecting the people. And I still stand on that ground today. And that is why you are seeing increase in number of deaths and even increase in number of cases positive. But remember I told you that part of the information they are hiding is this. If you say a disease killed somebody, bring the body, invite scientists, let them look at it, let them carry out several analyses, then they will be able to have a clue to what has killed the person. But to date, that is not done. And two, I also mentioned that when you know the source of a disease pandemic, it gives you a clue to a solution in the sense that for the fact that that thing was produced in the lab by a human being, is man-made, there is code. And when you know that code, you'll be able to produce an antidote to neutralize it. Remember, I have been following up posts on social media and a lot of persons making comments. I saw a comment by somebody who said, America and the whole world, will, even when they come together, will be difficult to solve COVID-19. The person is right.
Why do you subscribe to that?
The person is right because we are yet to get to the clue. What is causing the death? Do you understand me? What is causing the death? I have asked everybody to remove mind from a living thing. It's not a living thing. But maybe because, like, I was watching a video yesterday night and somebody was still classifying Africa as third world. Yes, those classifications is one of the things that is taking humans away from solution on time. Because you underrate certain persons, you underrate certain race, you underrate certain countries, and feels that solution must come within you. And that is why America is finding it difficult. I am sorry, I'm going to be very blunt today, because outside human comprehension, we have done a lot of research, and we have cried back to God, and the answer has come. And that answer today will come to erase that thing that is killing human race. And remember too, that when you look at status of persons who are making statements, if, for example, I don't know, I wasn't there when she made the comments, but let's assume, let's make the statement that she sees Africa, a country in the nearest future of COVID-19, litters with dead bodies.
That's wife of
Bill Gates,
Melinda Gates.
It's true, because people will continue to die unless you know the source and you find an antidote to it and you stop it. But I want to give the world hope again, because from our last appearance here, if it is 1,500 calls I have gotten, it's an understatement. If it is 1,000 text messages I have gotten, it is an underestimation.
Now, Prof,
yes.
you said that COVID-19, in your analysis, is a fraud and is a scam. And you also just now accepted the prediction of Melinda Gates, the wife of Bill Gates, that Africans will soon be littering the streets. Africa will soon be littered with dead bodies. That means the virus is killing people. So I don't know how you can justify those two extremes.
With my co-researcher, he knows the kind of person I am, and he knows the kind of researcher I am.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I have mentioned it just now, a few minutes back. Even you yourself should remove your mind that that thing is a living thing, it's a living virus.
Yes.
It's not a living virus, it's a chemical substance. It's a chemical substance. So,
do you have proof of this?
Oh, let me tell you this. Yes. Let me tell you this. I am sorry I'm jumping into you, but let me tell you this so that people will keep it at the back of their mind as we are discussing today.
Yes. That
very soon, I will give it as a challenge, one, to those who have underrated Africa. I listened to Professor Lumumba's statement and said, Africa is not respected because they feel anything good cannot come from Africa. And that is why they will invite our leaders over lunch. And that is all. It ends there. But let me say it clear here. Before man and God, because the whole of this thing is out of conspiracy against man. And God has gotten that challenge. Let me promise the whole world that I will soon, even from here, I am giving instruction to World Health Organization to invite me and my good friend. We call ourselves foolish professors. And they will meet us in Nigeria, in the office of the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. And I will ask President Muhammadu Buhari to invite Trump, that is the President of America, while I give solution to the death across the world in COVID-19. And I have told you, COVID-19 is a chemical substance, and it's easy to tackle. We will get there. So let everybody keep it behind their mind that the solution is
I just ask you a question now that you said COVID-19 is a chemical substance. You are a researcher. How did you come about that conclusion that it's a chemical substance? Did you carry out an independent research? Have you been able to access the COVID virus, took it to the lab, or take it to the lab, do analysis on it to now know that this is a chemical substance? Or is this based on what you have read, what you have seen by way of videos and stuff like that, Prof?
Let me tell the world, like I always tell my friends, and I always ask him anytime he comes to my office, I say, Professor Ajene, the first person that designed the first car, who taught him how to design a car? The first person that ever built a house, who taught the person how to build a house? You don't, when certain things happens and it overwhelms human comprehension, there is a solution to it. I have checked books, and remember that every fact I gave here, I gave scientific evidence to it. And I told you that the world is making mistake because you are talking of something you don't know. So how do you think you will tackle it? And I asked question here, why is America, Italy, France, who are higher than us in terms of medical standards, are having higher numbers, and Africa is having lower numbers? Nobody is here to answer me. I gave an instruction. I say, invite me, give me one dead body. I am not a pathologist. I cannot carry out an autopsy analysis, but people will do it, and I will watch it. I will say, give me the report, and we'll join it together. Is it not? But people are dying out of chemical poisoning. People are dying because one or two persons has conspired to erase human race. You may not believe some of these things I'm saying, but at a point I had one problem. I was not there when they prepared the chemicals. So what I did, as I was sleeping in the night, I allowed that instinct to give me an insight to what that person was thinking and what that person has done. Remember I told you, I said, but they said they arrested a professor in America. If that is true, why did they not ask him? What did he do? But I asked myself, and I had a clue that even if you ask that professor, wherever he has gone, where they sat down together in that conspiracy against human and prepared that thing, there could be betrayal. And himself could carry some chips that will not make him remember what he did. And at that point, I asked God, and I said, you made man in your own image. The solution, I want to get it. Sonny Duke, Professor Siri has the cure to that chemical that was produced in that lab. And when I give it out and they implement it, you will see that death will stop.
Okay, we'll get to that point and definitely learn from what that is about. If you just join us, it's the TMI Monday, X-Strain, COVID-19, and the quest for a vaccine. But we're just scratching the surface so far. I'll take you to that point in a moment. But let me get Professor Josiah Ajene on. Prof, I've seen a video of how the COVID virus destroys the lungs, which ultimately leads to the death of people. What are your perspectives as a neuroanatomist?
Thank you very much. We have all agreed that people are dying. It's no good saying. And you have earlier, in our last interview, you did say, and you quote from source, that it affects the respiratory system. First, I want to thank the government and ITV for showcasing the precautionary measures to be taken. But like my colleague has earlier said, and that is where we get it wrong. When you have a problem, is it the time you run to God or you run away from God? The major problem, the underlying factor here is that we are running away from God instead of getting close to God. But thank God that the whole thing happened in this season. The death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So my first word to those of hearing us, fear not.
Fear not.
Fear not. It won't last no longer.
Okay.
God has answered our cry. But be that as it may,
Yes.
I'm here to add to what the government is saying we should do as a precautionary measure. Naturally, when God created man, there are soldiers inside us that will combat every foreigner. Tell me to use that layman language. We are talking about the immunity.
Yeah.
It's there. But we think, humanly speaking, we can do it on our own. Beloved, it is wrong. We cannot. But let me say, based on what they have said,
Science.
one, in period like this, we need to build our immunity for us to stand firm. And what do we need to do? So I want to classify basically on three ways: the do's and the don'ts. So that by the time the revelation of the real source will come, we may not be adversely affected.
Okay.
What are the do's and what are the don'ts? And under the do's, we put it. Don't forget, we are basing our analysis on the fact that it leads to copious secretion of the mucus, thus blocking the respiratory pathway, or perhaps the lungs itself. And that goes to show that oxygen is impaired from entering. Nobody can survive without oxygen. So you can see us even in treatment, we said ventilator.
Yeah.
It's nothing but to provide a valuable oxygen.
Yeah.
That is one. Two, on the school of thought that it may stay 2-3 days within the within the throat before you proceed to the lung. We will still tackle it in that way. And I have earlier said, God is an African. Permit me to use that language.
Yeah.
God is an African.
Yeah, he's an African.
And that is why I have earlier said, you don't need to fear.
Don't need to fear. Yeah.
What is it? What will kill us most now? Fear, anxiety, and hunger. But come, let's go back to statistics. When you talk of COVID-19, look at the number of death rate from Lassa fever and even that of malaria. It's higher than the COVID-19.
What of sickle cell anemia?
No, sickle cell anemia. No, I don't want to go into that. But be that as it may, immunity. What has God created in us or in our surroundings that can help us to combat this pandemic? One. Lastly, we said people cannot go into our popular name, Agbo. What are the constituents of this Agbo? Well, we talk of dogoyaro leaf, lemon, based on what we have been using in the 70s, like what I said. But permit me to add to it at this junction. There is a leaf that they need to add to that formula called Philatus amarus. It's a strong antiviral. In Benin, they call it Iyeke. Urobo in Delta, they call it Obuke Iyeke. Add it alongside, steam it, that can clear the respiratory tracts. But,
is this based on empirical research?
Yes, research.
Or it just
research.
Can I challenge?
I'm telling you, don't know.
Well,
Then,
what is struggle it today? Yeah.
Another thing we need to do, you know, I prefer a way of, is there no drug that can clear the respiratory even if there is mucus? It's simple. Onion can help us do that.
to clear
Yes.
the respiratory tract.
Even if there is mucus, onion.
But this is not just an ordinary kind of mucus. This is a mucus
No.
infested by a virus.
Yes.
Yes. A chemical as propounded by Professor Siri here.
Good.
If I come to you. Yes.
No, we are going to do it that way.
Yes.
Let's assume, because we are now not yet a theory, see hypothesis. Even if it is a virus, I'm not talking as if it is a virus. To those that the virus has not yet affected, what should they do to make sure they are not affected?
Okay, that's what you're talking about.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm. That's what I said. I don't want to go into a problem. Let's look at the possible solution or
Okay.
the possible precautionary methods
Okay.
we can adopt at this level. One, and we have said, let's assume it is even a virus, and the virus will lead to copious secretion of the mucus. The mucus may be, according to you, along the respiratory tract. But if we really want to go into the respiratory tract from our own knowledge, we have the upper respiratory and the lower respiratory tract. I don't want to bother people on terminologies, but let's just say respiratory tract. I'm not telling you, when you eat more of onion, it clears mucus level. I'm not talking about drugs. Now, ordinary onion, you call it ordinary.
Yeah.
The problem with all, like what my colleague has said, we belittle certain things, certain race, certain people. It's just like what has happened to Jesus. What can come out from Galilee? Life is not like that. We are all created by God.
Okay.
So the onion, then talking about the buffalo, they prefer vitamin C. Very good. But that we advise, we should be careful the kind of drug we take. So rather I will prefer that let us take the natural food. Example, orange. If you consume 4 to 5 orange a day, lemon, and the natural things, your immunity may be buffered. And even when you have it, it won't cut too long, because virus, not that you will treat, it will stay for some time. Based on your immunity level to combat it, will naturally disappear. So for now, there is no specific drug, and even when you talk about generally on virus, that will clear it.
Yeah.
And that was why initially I said, if it has within the throat, just as they suggested, warm water, once you flush it along the GIT instead of the other way now, it may not have time to stay so as to affect the lungs. So one, and two, you know, fever, high temperature. So times like this, we need more of vegetables and fruits and water. so because resultant effect of fever will lead to dehydration, so we need more of water.
Okay.
So I will advise too, people should take more
of water. All right.
But not cold.
All right, Prof. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So some stuff just your heart just indicted some good matters now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have listened to him. He's my friend. I always call him foolish professor, foolish friend.
And he too calls you foolish professor?
Yeah, and he also calls me foolish professor. That's
okay.
our code to greet ourselves.
Okay.
He has tried, and he has looked at it from the human aspect of it. COVID-19. Genetically, let me explain some concept that will lead us to the final solution that we have discovered. That the mucus they are talking about, like he has rightly said, is part of defense mechanism of the cell. And like I told everybody, and that I have asked all scientists to be careful about cell when they are handling issues of cell, because cell starts life. And that is why cell has been classified as the basic unit of life. Let me tell you what happens and why there is mucus in the tracheas. When that poison is injected, if it is taken in, it goes straight to the lungs. It does not even stay in the tracheas. So when it goes straight to the lungs, it hits the cell. And the gene will code that there is a foreign body. And we instruct the DNA. DNA is the general in the army. It will tell DNA, instruct the RNA to use the proteins around it to fight that body that is coming in.
That foreign body that is coming in?
Yes. For the fact that it has come through the respiratory tract, the gene has coded it from the moment it is entering. So the defense point is at the trachea. So the defense mechanism is what results in the mucus secretions you have in the trachea that blocks the trachea. Remember that there are bacteria inside. Mm-hmm. So, you know, last week I said there are two kinds of virus. The one that I have classified as chemical, which is man-made, and the one that is natural, that comes with natural DNA. Are you following me?
Yeah.
The one that is natural, which is the natural DNA in the cell, is the one carrying out that defense mechanism. And when that mucus is secreted, it is the trachea and the breathing tract. It blocks it because it does not want that thing to come in, because the gene has coded that foreign body is coming through the breathing tract, and that is why it is blocked. And once it is blocked, there is one thing you must know here. I may sound very strange, but I think I have told you people that when something comes and is beyond human comprehension, you go back to God. Let me explain this. When that thing enters straight and it goes to the lungs, it does not come back out.
From the lungs? From
the lungs. So let me correct World Health Organization that sneezing and coughing cannot bring out the virus that is man-made that has entered the lungs and is attacking the cells in the lungs. It doesn't come out.
No, I need to get that correctly.
Yes, you may not understand.
No, hold on, Prof. Hold on, Prof. You are saying here and now that for someone who is infected by the virus, if he coughs and he sneezes, the virus cannot come out to infect another person. Is that what you're saying?
The virus cannot come out to infect another person, and that is why it is non-contagious. I'm following.
So what is that theory about human to human infection? Good. That is what talking about.
I wanted to mention that if we are looking at vaccines later, but let me crash that.
Okay.
There is this idea that virus came from bat, and some have mentioned pangolin.
Yeah.
But let me correct that impression. Animals has different DNA from human beings.
I agree with you.
So there is no animal viral disease that will affect human being. I'll give defense to that. You know that humans consume chicken. You ate chicken yesterday? because yesterday was Easter.
Were you in my house?
Chicken?
No.
Were you in my house?
No, I know it's a common. I know it's a common recipe.
Anyway, that's
in
on
our
the
food.
lighter side.
Good. When you take in animal fat, animal tissue, what it does is it goes inside, and when it gets dissolved, it gets converted to human tissues, and that is why you will not consume chicken, and you find chicken in your blood. Are you following me?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research within the past few days. Thank God for the lockdown, because it gave me opportunity to now have time to rest.
Okay.
And no distractions, and we estrayed it. And I want to also congratulate every person who has taken time to send me information.
I agree with you.
A lot of informations were coming. So what I am saying now, if it gets to the time where I will bring out evidence that will prove it further, and when we now implement the solution that I will bring, and it works, then what do you need to do? You don't need to bother yourself any longer. Okay. So let me continue. Wait, just wait.
Jenny, just hold on.
Adele, just wait. This is above human comprehension. So that chemical cannot come out through sputum. Because when you cough, for example, we assume that sputum comes out. Mm-hmm. Somebody sent me a publication of genome analysis they did in Nigeria. I laughed. And that is one of the problems with the world. And that is why I have classified COVID-19 as a fraud. How many genetic laboratories do we have in Nigeria? How many Nigerian scientists can use DNA and genome decoding machines effectively? And when I read through it, and I discovered, I said, oh, I saw a statement that it was from sputum sample. Wow, I laughed. And I remember I called the person that sent it. Is it from Malaysia or somewhere? I can't really remember. Okay. Maybe either Malaysia or somewhere. Somebody sent that article to me. Okay. No, it was from the United States of America when I was discussing with Nigerians in diaspora living in California. About 250 of them were listening to me on WhatsApp chat, and I was using voice message to reply them. Okay. Good. And one of them sent me that publication. And when I saw that sample they use, genome, for genome analysis is genetic information about that sample you have taken. Yeah. The sputum they took is from a human being. So the DNA in that sputum is that of the human being.
Not that of the virus.
So how did they decode the DNA of the virus? It's strange. We'll find out later. And that is part of the fraud in COVID-19.
Okay. Let me pause. Yeah, Prof, you're itchy to say something.
We are saying the same thing.
Okay.
What is the role of, let me specify, what is the role of onion? Onion is regarded to be mucolytic. You see, we are talking to the general, so we'll be careful with the language we are using. Yeah. And what is mucolytic? It helps in the breakdown of mucus. Whether I'm coming.
Just hold on.
We are talking about knowledge.
Just hold on. No, just hold on, Prof. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yes, go on.
Yeah.
And if it's mucolytic, that it helps in the breakdown of mucus. That goes to show that even if there is blockage and we are talking about prevention now, and you be consuming it helps in the breakdown, thus opening the weight pipe. But don't forget, I said there are natural soldiers in the body. So what we need to do now is to make sure we beef up the natural soldiers by taking fruits and vegetables. That is why orange antioxidants will now come in. But let me be honest at this level so that we should be careful. We should be careful of what we eat, even at this level. All those strange food, all in disguise of from Oyibo quick food, people should abstain from it. It's not helping matters.
We should go natural. That's the point you're making.
Yes, we should go natural.
Okay, now I wanted you to say something about what Professor Otoekian said a while ago, that once the virus gets into the lungs, it doesn't come out again. That's what he said. Okay. That once the virus gets into the lungs, it doesn't come out again. That's disproving the widely held belief that you get the virus from human to human infection, through coughing, through sneezing, and you alluded to that.
Okay.
So how do you justify it or corroborate that?
About sneezing and coughing, though may be a sign of pathological, but it's a sign of natural defense
In the system.
Yeah.
To show that there is an obstruction. So when you cough or sneeze, it's like it's a natural way, or can we go natural immunity of let me remove what has blocked that.
In the process, that thing could come out of your mouth. In the process,
what will come out from what we are saying is you see the mucus, but it's not the causative organism.
So that we will be, because time, I know everything is on time.
Yes.
Because we are looking at life.
Yes.
We are looking at life.
Yes,
so we must be very smart in what we are doing now,
bro.
so that we can catch up. Let me tell you why some of them, without no intervention, they become negative.
That's some human beings.
Yes, let me just explain it. It's simple.
Natural phenomenon.
I have told you that the gene is there, which is giving the command. Is it not?
Yeah.
Good. It has commanded the body to block the tracheas, hence the production of mucus secretions. Are you understanding me? When those cells now decide or discovered that the invasion is getting less, are you following me? And they did not discover that anything is coming further, those mucus secretion will start dissolving. It's instruction. So when they obey those instructions, then those mucus secretion will dissolve. They have done their job because they were sent to defense. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
When it comes to time where we can start quoting references from publications, then we can start doing that and showing some one or two things. But let me conclude that. So when that thing starts receding, then there is possibility that any person who has the mild infection from that chemical substance can get healed without any intervention.
Okay.
Then there are some that stays for a while and with little intervention to boost the immune system, the thing wears off. But I'm looking at those ones now that cause death because we want to stop that death.
Yeah.
That death is because that chemical is able to overwhelm the cells and their mechanism of defense in the lungs, and hence it trips off life and there is death.
Bill Gates has recommended the need for us to have a vaccine to tackle COVID-19. And in 2015, I watched a presentation where he said, in the event of a possibility of a pandemic, the world doesn't have the capacity to contain such a pandemic. He went on to say, in the event of a war, take America for example, they hold our reserves, financially, armament, personnel, and what have you, to quickly, they can quickly mobilize to tackle any country. Take for example, Russia's invasion of Ukraine and a couple of other instances globally. But in the case of a pandemic, there is no such structure on the ground to be able to tackle this. But here we are today in 2020, there is a pandemic. Was there something he knew before today? Was there something he was anticipating? We don't know. We don't want to make any insinuation or a presumptive, sort of any presumption. But what are your thoughts, Prof, on finding solution through a vaccine as has been propounded?
For everything done by man, behind it, there is a selfish interest. I want to be very blunt, because Bill Gates has made a statement. And that statement is that if everybody, every human living does not take vaccine, then nobody will have peace. Because our peace is from social interaction. Hope you know that.
Yeah.
Good. Nobody will have peace. That means there will be no peace in the world. But I have come to counter that statement. That vaccine that he has now does not have solution to COVID-19. Why? Ask me why and I will explain it. Vaccines are meant for specific incidents. If a virus attacks, Then you decode the virus. Then you produce an antidote. Okay. That antidote neutralizes the effect of that virus, viral infection.
Yeah.
Am I making sense, my foolish friend? Good. So let him tell us what is in that vaccine today, and I will compare it with the answer I have, and I will tell him whether that vaccine he has an ulterior motive. Because one, you cannot stand as a single entity and you are ordering the whole world.
Is he a scientist?
Such statement challenges God. Such statement, let me mention it again, gives challenge to God and wants to make a difference. And I want to say it clearly, that if he now gives us that vaccine and we'll find out the component of that vaccine, or he should also tell us what is the component of that vaccine, then we'll know whether it's in line. If it is not in line, then we'll say bullshit it. Then, just be careful with me. Yes. That vaccine he's bringing could have ulterior motive. And I want to mention it clear. And I want to be challenged. He will agree with me, my co-researcher, that the best way silent sometimes to distribute biological weapons is through vaccines. Am I lying?
You are very correct.
I'm very correct. Vaccines are used to transfer virus. Let me take you a little bit back to 2004 in Nigeria. There was an issue that came up during polio saga. 2004 or thereabout. You remember that one Dr. Haruna from ABU, Ahmadu Bello University, was at the stage of affairs, the way and the same seat Professor Siri is sitting down today, and came out boldly and told the northern leaders, don't accept polio vaccine.
And a lot of children died in the process.
And there were a lot of controversy. But the northern leaders took it up. They came together and said, okay, fine. What do? They took a sample of that vaccine and they took it to India, a very solid lab, and they analyzed it and discovered that there were virus particles inside the vaccine. I'm talking to the whole world, and I know I'm addressing the whole world.
Just a moment. Generally, isn't that what a vaccine is? A little bit of...
No. I have told you that for every human action, there is selfish interest behind.
Okay.
Good. When they now came back, he gave his findings. Before he left, when he mentioned it, that nobody should take the vaccine, it was medical doctors who challenged him first. And I want to say it clear here again, that out of all the thousands of calls I have received, only 3 medical doctors were of different view with what we said here last week.
Okay.
Good. And those same doctors who challenged Haruna in ABU, when the report now came from India, were the first person that said, yes, the percentage of the virus inside that vaccine is infinitesimal. Which means it is small.
But is it there at all?
It was there. Good, it was there. I told the medical doctor yesterday when he called me, and he was arguing that viruses are living things. I said, and you are a medical doctor? I said, where are you working? He said, in a specialist hospital. I said, and you are working in a specialist hospital, and you are taking care of people with COVID? I said, okay, the patients you have, how did you discover the COVID, and you are able to attack it? What do you think you are attacking? So at a point, he was still arguing with me that he's living. He knows that when they enter the body, as non-living thing, they acquire genes and they acquire DNA and they become living things. I said, did you listen to my last presentation last week? At a point, he continued this argument. I told him, I said, very soon, some of you will be put to shame. So that Haruna's experience gave me challenge to look further, and hence we have the solution to COVID-19. So vaccines are meant to carry virus. Do you know why? Because when vaccines are introduced to tackle an epidemic, or, you understand, an epidemic or a pandemic, everybody is scared. There is panic. There is anxiety. So they will accept anything that will keep them alive. So the percentage of spread across human beings is wide. So it gets to a lot of people. And that is where I bought a little bit into the conspiracy theory that looks about the 5G and the vaccine. I just want to lock them up so that I'll be brief.
Yeah.
That 5G network, the interest is that a lot of persons will have to use it because it's business, they make money. So how do we introduce it? How do we compel people to take it? Then remember that I have classified COVID-19 as an advert for 5G network, but it went wrong in the sense that the scare factor that was added to it is death. And when you add death as a scare factor, everybody, nobody, even pastors, don't want to die. Everybody wants to remain here on earth. So everybody is now anxious to know why death. And that is what has proved that advert classified as COVID-19 went wrong for 5G network. If that vaccine, I may not preempt any analysis because I am not a winch, but I'm an African. But I have talked to God over this death, and He has answered me. Let me tell you something. If you check that vaccine, if it's ready, up till now, they have not even decoded what is killing people. The chemical that is killing people has not been decoded. So how did they come about the vaccine? So that means it must be a pre-existing vaccine. I am just giving guidelines that will be proved right later. That vaccine is a pre-existing vaccine.
If it's in existence.
If it's in existence. Okay. If they have not prepared it.
Okay.
Good. And once they prepare it, then it will lock into the 5G network, which means it will carry chips that will help them to achieve what has been classified as one, artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? That machine will think for somebody. Are you getting me? All these points, I want everybody to take it down across the world. Artificial intelligence, so that above human comprehension, He has been talking. And you know, I told you, I said, He has given it human, what we should do as physical, which I buy into some of them. And I will knock off some of them later because it will not achieve anything with COVID-19. Remember, I've told you it's a chemical. Is it not? Good. In science, we believe that when people sit down and you listen to their voices, you should be able to draw a conclusion. I teach biostatistics in Novena University, even up to postgraduate level. Trump said the world is paying for what China has done. Nobody has asked him, what perception do you have about that? What did you do with China people?
Or what did you do against China people?
Or what did you do against China people? Then he came up again. World Health Organization and China are hiding information about COVID-19. I have not been given that clue, either by analysis, because I don't have any lab I will enter, but my instinct in contacting God and talking with God did not particularly say it is China that produced it, but human beings sat down. But there is a clause God has mentioned that when we finally now solve it, those who prepared it will be ashamed that humans are able to rescue themselves from one or two persons who feel they can ride the world, and put human beings to total submission in terms of putting them under frustrative conditions that will make them accept whatever they are bringing to the world. So nobody should accept the vaccine until we determine what that vaccine is made for. Because vaccines are made for specific purpose. Polio vaccines came for polio. And several other vaccines, measles vaccines came from measles. Thank you very much.
So can't we have COVID vaccine for COVID?
COVID.
Not isolated.
Good, thank you. That is the question I have asked even Sonny Duke to continue to announce on their television, because ITV has come to the world to make the difference. I may sound very cheap because they feel I am from the third world and from Africa. I have never had any psychiatric information. I understand what I'm talking about because people are dying. I have told you and I have named them. World Health Organization. I have told you about President of Nigeria, who is my president, because I am proud to be a Nigerian. And I am an African. And you can see my skin from anywhere you are watching me. I am dark. So don't look at skin color sometimes as stigmatization, because we're about to conquer what is troubling the world.
We'll come to that point in the later part of this discussion, but let me come to Professor Ajene. From my elementary knowledge about science, about biology, we know that when there is a health challenge in the proportion of a pandemic, a vaccine comes to the rescue. He alluded to the fact that the vaccine normally will contain a certain percentage of the causative agent, the virus in this case. When it gets into the system, it triggers the antibodies, the fighting soldiers of the body system to be able to fight the virus. Now, are we saying that's impossible with COVID-19?
Well, I want to thank you for that question. Thank God you're in your elementary. The element of that virus should be Derby.
Yeah.
Good.
I asked you a question last week. If you are the middle, you have point A and point B. If point A, thousands are dying. If point B, less than 100 are dying. Which point, and you are asked to move, which point will you move to?
I'll go to point B.
From the biblical perspective, thank God I am a Christian. The Bible rightly said it. Have you removed, let people say, the log in your eye, and you are talking of another person's soul? Why must it be that it is Africa that you will test the virus, the vaccine? But like as I said earlier, I'm not here to talk about the political intrigue.
Good.
What should our people do in times like this to make sure they could cope till when the final solution will come? It is not by accident that the thing happened within this period, which is the death and resurrection of Jesus. And I want to assure everyone that the problem is over. Fear not. What are the things for you to do in line with our government directives? Keep distance, no problem. Take much water, no problem. And do all the, but in addition to that, I am saying, for you to build up. See, this is what we point out. When we say professor, we are teachers. What have we researched? What do we know?
Well, you're not sharing that with us. You're talking about the pastor today.
No, it doesn't.
You're talking more prophetically.
Whoever we are today is by the grace of God.
Absolutely.
Thank God our brother said it is a divine intervention that will conquer it.
Okay. All right. Yes, Prof.
Yes, let's start looking at, for now, precautionary measures.
Then that's where I will
Because
come
I
in.
have seen that last Monday's presentation keyed down
Tension. Yes.
the anxiety is going down. We had calls from everywhere across the world. There is something that I have not gotten clue to. The disperse mechanism. How does it spread? But let me tell you that it enters through the nose because it is a respiratory warfare.
If it enters
Because
through the
it goes
cannot,
through
it
the
cannot
nose.
enter through the mouth.
No, there's a junction with that. That's why we go.
Good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
He had just said it. It cannot come through the mouth because if it goes through the mouth, the saliva and some other enzymes and every other thing in the mouth will weaken it. Or even if they don't, even if they are not able to kill it, it will go straight to the digestive system. If it goes through the mouth, yes, and it will be eliminated through physics. Are you getting me? Good. So, and it cannot go through the eyes because It's a chemical substance. And when it goes through the eyes will react and water will come out. Because the eye has its own defensive mechanism. Remember that the eyes are made up is made up of cells, is it not? So the cells will work. So it doesn't go through the eyes. It goes through the nose and it goes directly through to the lungs. Are you getting me? And inside the lungs, it carries out every poisonous action that it will carry out that will lead to death. Are we together at all? Yeah. So what I want people to do now is this. For now, use nose guard. But that nose guard must be sanctified clean. Let me tell you too that materials that are coming in from troubled zone, because I mentioned it the other day. I said, I gave one precautionary measure the other day. I said nobody should travel to the troubled zone. Is it not? Yeah.
And anything.
I am giving a second one today. What you need to guide is your nose.
Not your mouth.
It's not the mouth.
So are you saying?
And it's not the eyes. And it's not the ear. Are you following me? Like you have done now. Let me warn the world. And thank God the World Health Organization, when they had a threat from the funder that I, as Trump, I will withdraw funds from World Health Organization, out of panic, they began to think well too. And have said that any person who is not sick, and you are not living close to somebody who is sick or who is infected with any kind of disease, don't use nose guard, nose and mouth guard. They're a bit right, because the way you are carrying that in now, it will get to a time your cells will start probing you because they don't have enough oxygen to use. So what you should do, you must make sure that there is a little bit of aeration on that nose guard and use it for only the nose, so that when you feel that you are a bit choking up, you are not comfortable, you can take in air through the mouth, and that will balance the oxygen required by the cells. I was taught divinely what I'm telling you now. So when you now guide the nose, it prevents you from getting that thing in. That will give evidence or proof to what I've said, that we are yet to understand the carrier of that thing that was produced in that lab. So I want to begin to suspect, if the clues I'm getting across the world, that some countries find out that the mouth guide that is being imported from China, and they are distributing it across the world, that some of them are not pure, could be right. Okay. But I'm not saying it's totally right, because I have not checked anyone. But I want to quickly caution, Nigeria, is it NCDC?
Yes.
Good. Nigeria NCDC. Listen to me very clearly. Whatever has been imported into this country
should not be used.
Must be satisfied clean before they are used. Or else, you will bring in that chemical regarded as virus, which is classified as man-made virus, and it will achieve that statement from Bill Gates' wife, that I saw Africa street littered with dead bodies, because we all know quite well that our medical standard is far below anything that will combat something that is terrorizing America, Italy, France, UK.
Okay, let me just get Professor Janet to respond to something that was raised earlier, which is that the mode of entry of the virus is not through the mouth, it's possibly through the nose. And if it were through the mouth, what would happen? And if it's through the nose, we already established that. So let me get your perspective on the fact, on the saying that it's not through the mouth. Yes.
Let me use this word. Regardless the pathway, whether mouth or nose.
No, but can it
I'm coming, don't worry.
Yes.
What is the relationship between mouth and nose? There is a connection. at the pharynx. This nursery, we join it there. And that was why I said earlier, we don't need to go by that. Both the esophagus and the trachea begins at the same point. If we are to go into the nose, both develop from the foregut. But the only difference, even the common, if you slaughter your animal during the Easter, you will see that the esophagus is top, the esophagus is down, the trachea is what? Up.
So trachea is to the nose.
Trachea.
Yes.
Trachea is to the lungs.
Okay.
Esophagus is to the
Stomach, okay.
Then before you get to the trachea, there is a junction pharynx, called pharynx and larynx.
Yeah.
The mouth leads to that place. The nursery, as we call it, leads to that place.
Okay.
So it's a common junction for the four. That was why he said that even if you block your nose and you open your mouth, enough oxygen can still go in. We are saying the same thing. I'm approaching it from the anatomical perspective.
Okay.
But the bottom line now is, like what he said, even if it's a chemical release or a virus, and the end product is that it will secrete mucus that will block the respiratory pathway, layman language. Yeah. The respiratory can be the lung, it can be the pathway. So what should we do, or what are the precautionary measures to be done? Let's even assume, on the contrary, that it is a virus that is killing people, not a chemical, whether chemical or virus. And that what this chemical or virus will do is to make sure it leads to copious secretions of mucus that will either block the respiratory pathway or damage the lung, as the case may be. I am not saying what are the things we can take to prevent or to reduce.
Okay. Which we have highlighted.
Well, yeah, no, there's no more. One, I said I classify that the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah.
If you take this like onion, orange, yes. I've said that. But what are the things we should not do now? All this synthetic food, we should stop it.
Okay, let me pause it there, because you highlighted that point. I actually wanted you to, just to illustrate some of the things that you were saying a while ago. But I've been getting a lot of calls on my personal number. So we'll open our studio lines now, so you can also call and be part of the conversation. And then, in case you want to send us a WhatsApp message, you use this number I'm going to give you now. Use this number I'm going to give you now, so you can also do that.
Now you get this.
080-3872-6759. You see that number on the screen. Now, latest on COVID-19 in the UK, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been discharged from hospital after being treated for the coronavirus. How was he treated? What chemicals, what drugs were put together for him to be treated? These are some of the questions that I've been begging for answer. But we say big congratulations to Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The UK Prime Minister just survived COVID-19. I'm sure there will be a party at the presidential lodge of the Prime Minister, number 10 down the street. Okay, but there's social distancing. That's true. That's true. Well, you can still have the party online. I mean, you can have it online and keep safe distance while the party is going on. But that's just on the lighter side. Call the number 052-290-573, and let's get your thoughts, your opinion, your perspectives. And then you can also dial the number. Okay, send our WhatsApp message. Send a WhatsApp message to the number 0803-872-6759. If you dial the studio line right now, we'll be able to talk with you. If you can also send us a WhatsApp message to that number, we'll be able to also communicate with you by reading your WhatsApp message. But let me come back to Prof.
Yes.
What is your solution to COVID-19?
The final solution to COVID-19 for now is in me.
Is in you.
But I'm going to release it. But I have told you, depending on how fast humans are, to make sure that those components I've mentioned come together, then I will release the solution. And I will guide the implementation of the solution.
Okay.
And when it is solved, then the whole world will rejoice that there is death no more. Is it not? Good. So if you say I should start giving it out
But
like
give us not just give us an insight.
No.
Give you an insight.
Into your model.
Give you an
of
insight.
the solution.
Give you an insight.
Yes.
When the Minister for Health, for example, has said there is no scientist in Nigeria, there is no geneticist in Nigeria, there is no lab, nothing, that we don't have scientists in Nigeria, and that was why they went to China to bring doctors to take care of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Then you want me to release it on air? So you don't know that even the the coronavirus they are talking about, that a company owns the patent right. Don't you know that there is a patent right to COVID virus?
There's a patent right to
Do
it.
you think that there is anything in this world made by man that is not teleguided by man?
Okay, we've got calls coming
There's a
in.
patent right to coronavirus.
We-
You know that.
We've got calls coming
Because it's
in.
man-made.
Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Come on.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Zipom. I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay, from Lagos.
Yeah, there's one this mouth cover that I bought.
Yes. Go on.
Yeah, there's one this mouth cover that I bought.
Yes.
And when I put it on, I couldn't breathe well. I was choked putting it on.
Okay. So what did you do afterwards? What did you do afterwards?
Remove it.
I immediately removed it.
God bless you.
Because I couldn't breathe well. You know, I couldn't get myself anymore. I was like, what is going on? I told my friend that this thing is choking me.
Well, that could be because you're probably not used to wearing a mask. If you do it over a while, then probably you get used to it.
TV is very right. Because people should talk to this NCDC or whatever they call it. It's killing people, even more than the coronavirus itself.
All right, thank you. Our first caller joining us live from Lagos. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. All right. But just try as much as possible to stay safe.
Yes.
Stay safe. Put to practice all that you've been told. Wash your hands frequently and all of that. Hello, caller. Good morning. Please, good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV set.
Okay, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Turn down the volume of your TV set. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
This doctor is sending.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. We're listening.
Okay. The two gentlemen that is talking,
Yes.
yeah, they are saying the right thing, but we that is listening, we want to hear from the man who said there is a solution. I know definitely whatever you say on the air, people will take it and use it. But will you be happy if a black man like you is dying and when you have a solution?
Okay.
God will not be happy with you. Release the solution. No matter
No,
what
not
it is,
yet.
God will bless you.
Okay. All right, Prof, you heard?
I heard him.
Yes. Will you be happy? You said.
No,
you
they
said
will die.
He has even said God will bless me. God has been blessing me.
No, Prof, no, not even that. Because I remember you said a while ago that
Yes.
the reason you're concerned with preferring the solution is because of the deaths that have occurred.
Yes.
And many more certainly will die.
Yes.
But we pray that the number reduces and tails out gradually.
Yes.
So we'll come back to you in a moment. Let's take more calls. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Voila.
Hello, my name is Yahya Mohammed. I'm calling from Abuja.
What's your name?
My name is Yahya Mohammed. I'm calling from Abuja.
Gaya Mohammed is calling us from Abuja. Please go ahead.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that it is not high time. The Africans, we have our own way of dealing with what's it called? This is in a traditional way. I think it's better advice that we call all the traditionalists that we should also, instead of looking up to US and co, we also have a measure in place that we can also withdraw or try to figure out a measure to call this disease. I think the best option for us now for Africans to unite and look forward, see how it comes together to provide a vaccine, or look at how we treat how they can provide a cure for the coronavirus.
All right.
We're looking for the nations that are impossible to get any vaccine for now.
All right. Thank you.
The last time I see online, there was describing that it's going to be in September before the vaccine will be ready.
Yeah.
Which by then, the world will have been going down. I can see what the nation is going through now.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait till then. We have to look for a way, to head all this time for traditional to let it come together. Let's see what we can do to put an end to all these methods.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's talking about looking inward to profile solutions.
Okay.
That seems to be something both of you have advocated all along. But let me take this call. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Eric Imoniti calling from Lagos.
Eric is calling us from Lagos. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, my question and my contribution comes this way. Why do we need to invite Chinese doctors? Why we are charging in Nigeria?
Chinese doctor.
Okay, well, except they want to answer that question.
No, you answer.
Except they want to answer that question, respond to that question.
Yes.
Yes, he's asking.
Because they have more debt over there in China.
Good.
Okay.
And our doctors here have been treating and
We've done
discharging
it before.
So why do we now? I think it is China that leans our head.
Can I?
Yes.
Let me add to his voice.
Yeah, just listen.
Wait.
Go on.
God bless you. The fact that we don't trust what we have is what is leading Africa
To trouble.
to go for lunch, and they will forget the destiny of Africans.
Okay.
It's simple.
Okay.
It is because we don't trust what we have.
Now,
I have challenged the Ministry of Health.
I've got a question
How
here.
can you go to China to bring Chinese doctors? Are they even doctors? Those boys and girls that were brought from China.
Yes.
What confirmation do you have that they are medical doctors?
Okay.
I have genetically assessed them. I have looked at their faces, and I have discovered that they are children.
Okay,
Some of them are kids.
but you know they are very smally. So you
Even when they are smallish, I have looked at
I
their
have a
faces.
question from Shakir.
What did they come to Nigeria to do?
Street. He says, "What's the difference between COVID-19 and 5G?" We'll talk about all of that in a bit, but we'll take a short break. We'll be back with you with the rest of the program. It's still TMI Monday. Join us again.
I have not seen about that one before.
Quarantine. Now when person cough, and be quarantine. Now that you will go that is quarantine.
So what do you also understand by the word quarantine?
The word can change by the hand of God. It's not a human being.
I don't understand anyone. But they talk and I hear them to the year. Me don't understand anyone. Me never seen. Na information. Na to the year.
Thanks again for staying with us on the program TMI Monday. We just have a couple of minutes to tidy this up with more phone calls. And I've got this one coming in from who? Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is
Your name is what? Please turn down the audio level to remove the echo. Turn it down, the audio level on your TV. Remove the echo.
My name is
Sarah Peter, where are you calling from?
I'm coming from
All right, go ahead. But still, turn down the audio level on your TV, or better still, move backward.
All right. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, yeah, go ahead with your contribution.
I want to thank those two doctors that is there.
No, two professors. They are professors, so we need to establish that, yeah.
Okay, the professors.
Yes.
I want to thank God that they are there, that the God should take it and give them more knowledge about whatever they are doing in life.
Oh, all right, thank you. Thank you. Hello, caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Victor Akpeji and I'm calling from Benin City.
Yeah, Victor Akbeji, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank those two erudite professors there. They've done a very good job,
Okay.
Concerning this COVID-19.
Okay.
And I also want to state, Duke, that, you see, we do not have a country. All we have is a jungle, and that is why we don't even
we have a country. We have a country. You heard Prof saying a while ago that he's proud to be a Nigerian.
No, that means if I talk like this, just take it. See, the whole thing is annoying. It is really annoying. You see, when a government or when a leader, does not know his own word, so they also will not know the word of their citizens. So that is why you will see that they consider it a high risk to place their health care or their lives in the hands of the one they call their own. So because they cannot embark on medical tourism, they have decided to import human medical tourists, for themselves at the peril of Nigerians.
All right.
Are you getting what I'm telling you?
Yes, I do.
You see, the other man, Professor, I'm trying to remember the name again, very close to you.
Yeah, Professor Cyril.
He's reluctant to say certain things because a man, and permit me again to say, who has been appointed the Minister of Health, who by all standards and by my parameters has not proved himself competent. He's saying something. Don't listen to him, my friend. Go ahead and tell us what you are saying. I've been following you in your last edition, and listen, even to the layman, you are making very good sense.
Okay.
You
All right. I'll cut you now. Yeah.
The testicles of the goats will continue to swing, but they will never fall off.
Amen. All right. We'll get another caller on. Hello, caller. What's your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller. What's your name and where you calling from? And just to add that, you can also use this number 08035788736. Just in case you cannot get through to us with the number we've been using since, you can use this other number. You have that number on the screen now, 08035788736. You can also use that number to get to us now. Let me take this call. Hello, caller. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Benin.
Okay, please turn down the audio level on your TV to remove the echo.
Okay, I'm doing that now.
Yes.
I'm Kevin.
Kevin, you have not done it. Move away from the TV or turn down the audio level to remove the echo.
Okay, I'm Kevin. I don't mind this one.
Yes, Kevin, go ahead.
I want to commend those two gentlemen.
Okay.
They have done a great job. We Nigerians don't know the value of our team. Because if they know the value of what we have, they will not go and bring those small boys from tennis. According to that man that is sitting close to you, even the layman will understand exactly what he's saying. Please, I want to ask a question. The question goes like this. If there was a party said, cannot transmit out from your...
Yes. I remember that question. I remember I asked Prof that question. That he cannot spit it out. You can't cough it out once it gets into the lungs. Yeah, that's the question you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he will respond to you. But let me take more calls. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Henry.
Yes, where is Henry calling us from?
I'm calling from Abuja.
Henry, go ahead.
I want to know why is it that is when they discover the number of people is when they will tell us this amount has been discharged.
Yeah, I didn't get that question. You need to turn down the audio level on your television so we can hear you clearer. What was the question, or what was the point you raised? Hello, Harry? Okay, Harry said something. It looks like Prof heard what he said. You want to respond? You want to respond to that and what the other person said a while ago? Yes.
The first person talked about
yes, sneezing and cough. You say you can't come out through sneezing and cough.
Normally,
let's get it.
Yes, normally.
No, he got it.
He will understand that sneezing and coughing, for example, they are mechanisms of the body to make the lungs to expand, to take in more air.
Okay.
But when there is infection and there is defense mechanism and there is mucus in the trachea, so when you now sneeze, it comes out. Are you getting
Yeah.
me? But when chemical substance pass through the nose and gets to the lungs, it attaches itself to the cells of the lungs. And it does not have possibility to come out. And that is why, if you look at when they were saying that physical contact, maybe body to body.
Yes.
You know, I said it here, I said it's not possible because virus, in terms of man-made virus, is outside the body. It cannot pass through the skin because the skin has a dead layer. What do they call it? Is it the subcutaneous?
Yeah.
The subcutaneous layer.
Yeah.
So it will not even penetrate.
Okay, let me take this call. Let me take this call. Hello, Kola, good morning. Hello, good morning. We can barely hear what you're saying. Could you speak up a little bit? Hello, Kola, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Okay, good morning. I'm calling from Benin.
Yes, turn down the audio level on your television to remove the echo.
Yeah, I've done that now. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I want to quickly thank ITV for this opportunity. I want to also thank, I'm calling from New Benin Houses.
Thank you.
So I want to also thank the two professors. I watched them last time, and I also called the professor on white. They educate me more. So I want to say thank you for the opportunity, for this privilege that many of us in Nigeria, we don't know what is going on. So we are getting so many clues clearly from them right now.
Okay.
So I want to also say thank you to ITV, and I want to ask a question now. That
go ahead.
If they say the man-made, whether the virus or the man-made chemical, does it really stay on our palms? If it stays in our palms, does it stay in our clothes that we should wear? How long does it stay? So that we'll know how to make a precautionary measure for ourselves.
Okay.
And secondly, ATM button that we are using, if really it stays in our palm, we use ATM button. And at the after transaction, we collect our ATM card. Does it also transfer to our ATM card? Because those are the things we use daily and often. So I don't know what can we do to prevent all these things. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, Professor, I thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Let's take this call. Hello, caller. Good morning. Please turn down the audio level on your TV. Turn down the audio level on your TV to remove the echo. No. You're not doing what I've asked you to do. Turn down the audio level on your TV to remove the echo. Hello, caller. Good morning.
I've done it now.
Okay. No, you are still too close to your television. Move backward, please.
Okay. I've done it.
You have done it. I'm hearing the echo sound.
I've done it. Are you okay with that?
All right. So go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. What I want to say is that this coronavirus is getting out of hand now. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
What I will say, sorry to say, my name is Raymond. I'm calling from Benin.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say now, this vehicle coming from Lagos.
I just want to see the new statistics that we have for COVID-19. Can we have it on the screen? The new statistics that we have on COVID-19. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying, this vehicle that is coming from Lagos, other states to Benin, they should block them. They should block those places.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you
very much.
All right. Hello, caller. Give us your name, where you're calling from. Go ahead with your contribution. Hello, caller. Good morning. Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from. From Sapler Road.
The one very close to you, to help us Nigerians, to help us Africans.
Please turn down the audio level on your TV. Turn it down or move backward to remove the echo.
Okay, since I'm far away from there, I'm nobody there now. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, you said what?
Yes, I said my appeal goes to the two gentlemen, the profs. Let them help the world. At least posterity will never forget them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Please turn down the audio level on your TV set to remove the echo.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm fine. This Iyo. I'm calling from Ugbo.
Yes, go ahead, Iyo.
Okay. I want to thank the two gentlemen. I really appreciate what they are doing. But I will still appeal to them that they should release the prof, the man black, to tell us the solution.
Okay.
Okay. That the government, the politicians, they will not help you, but you help the people of Nigeria.
All right, thank you. Let me take you through some of the messages that are coming through our WhatsApp number that we read to you earlier. I will take you through those messages. Now, a whole lot of them have been pouring in from our WhatsApp platform. I'm sure it will be wise that we also give some attention to that as we gradually call it a wrap on our program today, this morning on ITV. Special focus on COVID-19 pandemic with all the issues that have been coming forth in recent times. The way to go, the solution is what we're all looking for just to ensure we reduce the number of deaths. Shakiru from Ondo State, what is different between COVID-19 and 5G? Prof explained that in the course of the program. Good morning to you and our guest in the studio. My name is Ekene Egbo. Please, what is the relationship with COVID-19, between COVID-19 and 5G network? ITV, you're doing a great job. Thank you. God will continue to bless your efforts. Kudos to the two professors. Good morning, Duke. This program just made my day. I'm really impressed with your profs. Please, I would like to know how this chemical substance and not virus is transmitted from Emmanuel. I want to ask the man on black a native question. Does he have the cure to the virus already? And secondly, to the NCDC on the case of the infected persons. Good morning, gentlemen in the studio. Whoever that conceived the idea of bringing in Chinese doctors into Nigeria is undermining the abilities of the health professionals in Nigeria and is not of the interest of Nigerians and such cause for concern. What is the yardstick used to measure the vulnerable in the society in terms of distributing the palliatives? This is Shedrack Joel from Enugu State. Good morning, presenter. I enjoy your program and kudos to my two props there. The Gates Wife South Africa Street will be full with dead bodies. Sir, what did you say to that? Though say inspired me with your analysis that I think every Nigerian should hear this. Adiolu is calling us from Lagos or contributing from Lagos. Thank you. What are we to do additionally apart from the guidelines the government have given us? Eromosale and Naholo from Benin City. So very unfortunate. We're going through this hard time. I pray God heal our beloved country. Okoje Bright from Masoro. Good morning, ITV crew. God bless you for this sensitization on COVID-19. I quite agree with the professors. Please let Nigerian government give them opportunity to provide solution to this pandemic once and for all. Audu Mark from Abuja. Good morning. My question is, how then is the virus COVID-19 spreading if not air? That means there is no need for social distancing. What is now killing people? Good question. I need you guys to respond to that. Yes. Good morning. My name is Phillips. I must commend you guys for your good job. But one thing that baffles me is for the Minister of Health to be saying that there are no scientists in Nigeria. Please, I want to beg the Professor of Genetics to kindly release whatever solution he has to save Nigeria. He should understand that we love celebrating outsiders in Nigeria than ourselves. God bless you. I really commend the professor that has the solution. I believe that what he said, I've examined his hypothesis genetically and discovered that he is sound. Right on, sir. You are a source of hope to the Africans and the world at large. Jonathan from Abuja. And then, hi, Professor. Sir, what do you think is the common ways that people contact this COVID? Christantius Amu from Kaduna State. And then we have Good Morning ITV. From the start of this whole thing, I already knew that this was a man-made virus, which is released for a reason. Meanwhile, kindly tell Professor Taikia not to give out any information about the cure to nobody, because in this country, Almost everyone is ingrate. Last, I'm already ready to work with anybody who is working on the vaccine, as I have been trying to figure out something as well. I hold MSc in microbiology, so nothing is strange to me. Thanks, Kelly. Okay, my name is Benjamin from Lagos. Why can someone contact COVID-19? Is it true that patients who are discharged are truly COVID-19 patients? Question you're asking. Anyway, Prof, I don't know how much time we have, just to quickly round up on this here.
Let me just quickly attend to social distancing. I want to relate it again to that statement that those saddled with responsibility to take care of health is hiding information. They had a clue to what was produced because, one, it's a virus or a chemical virus, is it not?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't understand up to now is what brings it close to the nose. What brings it close to the nose so that when you draw in air, it goes in. So the only thing I'll be able to fine tune is this nose guard, for example, mouth and nose guard. If it is infected with that chemical, it carries little particles of that virus. Somebody can easily draw it in. Then remember they said washing of hand and not touching your face.
Yes.
Which shows that they had an idea of what they have produced. Because if you say don't bring your hands, your palm close to your nose, and we know that right from birth, the first action you do in life is hand waves. And when hand moves, response to stimulus, it goes to the face. So how will you tell me not to push my hand to the face? So which means they feel that virus is on the hand. It could be on the palm. You know I said it here. Why washing only hands? Why not wash all the clothes in your body? Why not bathe severally? Do you understand me? Then I remember I mentioned, if you wash hand, what of your wristwatch you are wearing that you touch every time? That virus could be there.
What about your phone?
What about the phone that you carry? So those are vectors. Are you getting me? So they had the idea, but I think they lose contact when they now discover that in the laboratory, all available format or protocols of analysis they have tried has not led them to any conviction to show that this is what we describe COVID-19. So I still want to advise that we use nose guard, not mouth guard. That virus cannot pass through the mouth. It cannot pass through the eye, but it will go through the nose. So use nose guard, then bathe regularly. Then wash all clothes you wear out. Every clothes you wear until the Ministry of Health brings one dead person. I want to say it again. Then I will sit down on my team and will watch them use their scientific protocol that they have used to classify somebody as being dead of COVID-19. I want to see it, and I want to see what they have discovered inside any sample they have taken. I mentioned one before that they took sputum to do genomic analysis. It's wrong because that is life material. It's a material from that person, so it carries the person's DNA.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time and for the useful thoughts that you brought to bear on our conversation. Yeah, just a word, just a word. Okay. Yeah.
Let me explain that.
We don't have time for explanation, just a word, yeah.
What I would advise now is that they should not fear. They stop intake of maybe tobacco, dairy product, and salt, reduce it, and take more of fruit and vegetables.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes.
Yeah, my last statement is...
But you have still refused to give us solution.
The Ministry of Health,
yes.
World Health Organization, if Ministry of Health can go and bring China in few days, then they should be able to send from Abuja for me and my team to come to Abuja. I want to own right because God gave me that prophecy that something in the nearest future, in the line of course you study, something is going to happen and the whole world will look for you. It came through a man of God. Evans Idaboya is late now. He mentioned it. Okay. And we discussed it. So let the Ministry of Health and World Health Organization be in haste to send for me.
Okay.
Then we will sit down and discuss. Then I will release the tickets.
All right, Prof. This is a divine revelation to you. And so you have to find a way to get it out, maybe on another program. But we're looking forward to all of that. I want to say big thanks to you guys for coming on the show. And the feedback that we're getting from the program means that we made an impact. I want to say big thanks to the management, the GM of ITV, Senior Dalbedo, will say, for giving us opportunity to extend the phone-in segment and get more people to participate and express themselves. We are all working together to make the society a better place. Always remember, the views expressed on a program like this, they are not the views of the station. They are the views of those on the program, the individuals who are expressing them. And so we need to set that record straight. We'll take a short break now. We'll be back to conclude the program with some of our guests in the studio. Once again, thank you for joining us. We'll be back with you in a moment.